Hello, I hope everyone's doing well in the event of the pandemic and remaining safe and practice social distancing. And my comparing the news speech today will be regarding the pandemic, so it will be related to that, which will be about the cancellation of tennis tournaments and especially the Wimbledon, more so the Wimbledon. So I'm not going to insult your intelligence. Everyone pretty much knows what tennis is. It's a sport, you hit the ball back and forth. However, all tournaments, all events have been canceled all the way up until July 13th. And one of the big things that everyone's concerned about is the cancellation of the Wimbledon. So if you don't know, there are 4 major Grand Slam tournaments open to all professional tennis players. There are major 4. There are U.S. Open, Australian Open, the French Open, and then there's the Wimbledon. And ESPN went ahead and released the articles stating that the pandemic is making history because this is the first time that the Wimbledon's been canceled since World War II. It's been canceled a total of 3 times if you include this one, World War I, World War II, and the current COVID pandemic. It is the first time that it's ever been canceled during a peacetime, so without war. So it's really amazing. And it's also interesting because this was a tournament that was first founded in 1877. So it has a lot of longevity, and for it to ever get canceled means a lot in the tennis world. And it was originally this tournament, the Wimbledon, was originally set to run from June 29th to July 13th, but the ATP, WTA, and International Tennis Federation all released statements saying that everything through July 13th would be canceled. So that's over with. Another upset was that the French Open was also canceled and is rescheduled for September 20th to October 24th. A quote that they wanted to add because they were distressed, they were upset about it, was that the Wimbledon, upmost in our mind has been the health and safety of all who come together to make the Wimbledon happen, as well as the broader responsibility for society's efforts to tackle global change to our way of life. So yes, they're very upset about it, and yeah, it's just caused a lot of inconvenience, especially for a lot of fans and players. Moving on, if you read the CNN article on the same topic, it's pretty much the same thing, agreeing and stating that sport has been severely impacted by the global pandemic. However, the source didn't have a lot of personal input, like from the author or the journalist. It was just a lot of quotes. If you click on it, I think I counted 8 quotes versus only the 4 on the ESPN website. So that's a difference I found. And yeah, these quotes came from chairmen and players, athletes, and such, things like that. And then lastly, if you look at the BBC article related to the incidents, which of course stands for the British Broadcasting Corporation, again, it's the same thing about the sadness, the sorrow about the cancellation due to the pandemic. However, since this the BBC article is a bit older, the other 2, the CNN and ESPN one, were released within the last 5 days. This one was released on March 12th, and since this was released on March 12th, it only predates the suspension of tournaments till April 20th rather than July 13th. And there aren't as many quotes as the other sources. For the BBC article, I only counted 2 opposed to 4 or 8. And I would say the last thing is that it's more concerned with the economics of the situation opposed to more so like the event in itself, because the Wimbledon actually is supposed to take place in England. So I'm sure Britain, of all people, would be very upset about that. And they went ahead and made a statement saying that there will be huge consequences for some of the tournament owners who may not be insured against such a scenario as well as for local economies. Loss of earnings will also be a major worry for low-ranked players, not to mention the travel ban of coaches and support staff and officials in the freelance hospitality, security, and media community. So, in conclusion, the current pandemic is stressing tennis and making history. All tournaments are canceled till July 13th. Players, fans, and officials are all very disappointed by the tournament's cancellation, and the BBC is very concerned by the potential revenue loss. Lastly, what are your thoughts on this situation? Is this necessary? Thank you.